What's the most incredible thing you've ever asked God for? Hello, welcome to Words for Life from Living Word Lutheran Church. Talking about some of the great Old Testament events, and today we're going to talk about an event that happened under Joshua's leadership. You'll remember that God led the Israelites out of Egypt, and he led them up to the Promised Land, and under Joshua, God led them into the Promised Land, and they won the Battle of Jericho. We talked about that last time. Well, the rest of the land didn't just give up. Instead, they generally fought against the Israelites, and so the Israelites had to fight many battles. Well, one time there was 5 kings who allied themselves, and they came and attacked the Gibeonites. The Gibeonites had actually allied themselves with the Israelites, and so the Gibeonites cried out and said to the Israelites, "Come and help us!" And so the Israelites came to help, and the battle was going well. The Israelites were winning. They were putting the 5 kings and their armies were being defeated, but the sun was going to go down. And if the sun went down and darkness came on, those 5 kings would be able to retreat and regroup, and it would be a much more difficult task. So Joshua asked something absolutely incredible. He asked that God would make the sun stand still. And can you imagine? God did it. Scripture tells us in Joshua chapter 10, if you want to read about it, the scripture tells us that the sun stopped going down for about a day. Wow. Now, you and I are blessed with understanding some of the science of it. Stop and think what all had to happen. God had to stop the Earth's orbit. He had to stop the moon's orbit. He had to somehow replace gravity so that we didn't go flying off of the Earth. He probably had to stop all the other planets in their orbits so that the planets wouldn't get off kilter. He was able to do all that, and he was willing to do all that simply because one of his people asked him. That's pretty incredible, isn't it? And that's the God who's on your side. In incredible grace, that God who stopped the sun in its tracks for almost a full day, that God set aside his glory and came down to this earth to save you and to save me. Jesus went to the cross, died and rose and won forgiveness for you and for me. And now that powerful God who can stop the sun in its orbit, now that God is the one who's on your side. I don't know about you, but that brings me some confidence. Those are Words for Life. Thanks for joining us. Come on back. We'll have more.